Awesome. Well, today we're going to be speaking about reducing our cortisol levels using essential oils and our somatic tools. So I'm really grateful and glad that you guys are here with me today and we can chat. I can tell you what I've been doing and how to do it in the most simple, pragmatic way. I know that it can take like a whole day self-care. Really, it could take up your whole day. Nikki and I are laughing. We're like, I spend a good 2 or 3 hours on self-care. Um, so the easiest way for me to have utilized my essential oils and my doTERRA products and is I habit stack. So I put things together. So most of my mental health and essential oil usage is done through my skincare. Is anyone else like that's their main way that they're using their oils?
Mhm.
I'm like, I just put them all over my face. And really, that is one of the ways that it's going to go into your brain the fastest because you're breathing it in. It's going like directly into your brain. And that's really like the best time for me to connect back with my body is through my face. Um, so if you've got your essential oils right here, I'm going to start with frankincense. Hey, Maria,
Hi, finally got on.
are you back in Colorado?
Oregon.
Oh, you're in Oregon right now. Okay. Alrighty. So we want to have our essential oil here. We're starting with frankincense. The reason I chose that is because it's protecting our energy as we go into the next layers of oils. So I'm going to take a couple drops in my hands. I'm going to rub my hands together. This is a really old yoga practice. If you're sitting, try and have your sit bones solid underneath you, your feet solid on the ground. We're just trying to get our hands warm. And what this does is we're collecting all the pieces of ourselves back into our body. If we were feeling dissociative or we weren't in our body, we're coming back to the present. And when your hands begin to warm, then we're just going to cup them over your nose and your mouth and close your eyes. And we're going to take 4 deep breaths. How does that feel?
Great.
Does it feel like coming home? It's so
Ah,
wonderful how we can use something so simple and so fast. That's what I fell in love with essential oils for, is because in the past, how long does it take ibuprofen to work? How long does it take Tylenol to work? How
30
long?
minutes.
Too
That's
long.
what the doctor always says to you. 30 minutes.
Yeah, too long. I want it now. I want to feel better now. And um, right around the time that I found essential oils is I had just been off of most of my medications for about 2 years, and I didn't even take any vitamins. I wouldn't take pills anymore, just because I was just so sick of taking things. So I just really didn't trust anything anymore. So the fact that I could use something topically, and that I could get such immediate results was just like the best thing in the world. Like it was better than sliced bread. I'm like, I have a headache. I could use peppermint and my headache is gone. How exciting is that? I have anxiety. I can take a drop of lavender or frankincense in my hands and I've completely changed my brain chemistry. I've gone from really high cortisol to like, okay, I'm bringing my serotonin levels back up. I love that ability to hack my body and my brain chemistry. And I've since been learning how I can move my energy more and connect with my emotions in my body, and then in turn teaching others how to do that. Because I find that most people don't know. They can talk about their feelings in one way and they can talk about their body, but they can't really tell you like where in your body you can feel your feelings, you know? Where is the trapped emotion? Where is the stuck energy? And Nikki and we've talked at
It
length.
it literally can be anywhere because I teach how we're off the body, that little spot that you find, it can hold anything.
Yeah. So I love that we can share a space like this where you can come and you can say, I don't know how to do it. Can you tell me? And you don't have to like be embarrassed or anything because this is the information age. I'm 37. Everyone's at a different age. The past 10 years, the fact that we have everything at our fingertips, we're all healing very fast because we have so much information. My mom, who's 63, she's like, how come I'm 63 and healing and you're 37? It's not fair. I'm like, it is fair because we're all doing it at the same damn time because of the time we live in. I think it's amazing, actually.
Very amazing.
Do you guys have anything you want to share or say about that?
I was just noticing what was happening to my brain. I feel like points in my brain, um, for a lack of a better word, like when you're feeling tired, let's say, they're dull. And this was like turning on and feeling bright.
Oh, I like that. That's great. Um, Hold on one second. I just have to check something and then I'll get right back to you. Okie doke. Here we go. So, I just had a baby and he's almost 7 months old. And I really wanted to work on getting my body back how I want it. And in doing that, I needed to get my stress levels down. Um, so I started researching, and I was actually just using my doTERRA's MetaPower system, and the advice of my friend Dena here. I had been using doTERRA's protein shakes after every meal, and that was really supporting my metabolism journey. And then she posted that Melissa oil, it actually works much better than the popular drug Ozempic. And I did my own research on what Melissa is lemon balm. What its normal name is. Melissa is its Latin name. They've done tons of research on how it lowers your cortisol levels. It lowers your cholesterol levels. It actually is working with ADHD, which a person like me, which now they call it what is it, neurodivergent. That's the fun new term. Was I love that it's been tested that way. So how they did it is they brought in people like me and they had them do 5 different tasks on a computer all at the same time after they had taken the Melissa oil. And then, so then they're showing their results and I'm reading through it. It's so interesting that it can work for not only that, reducing stress levels, and then also balancing blood sugar and detoxifying the liver. So amazing that, I mean, I'm a creationist, so I believe that these plants were put on this earth for us by our creator. And I just find it it's so amazing to me. I'm like, look what God gave me. It's this beautiful gift that, was brought here to heal us. We have everything we need on this earth, as long as we protect it and we share this information with the right people. Um, so I've been using my Melissa oil, 1 drop twice a day, and I'm down 9.5 pounds in 8 or 9 weeks now. So it's
Wow.
a very short period of time. And previous to that, I was losing I don't know, like a pound a month kind of thing. So it's exciting to me that I haven't changed my diet. I eat pretty well. I eat like fruit and vegetables and I'm still like I have a house full of kids, so I do eat pizza. and things like that. But now things are changing. So I
How
love,
many how many weeks was it? 9.5 pounds
I'd
and
say
how
it's like
many?
9 or 10 weeks, something like that. When do you think we shared that, Dina?
I can look and see when the date that we first started that.
And you did it in a capsule, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's best if it gets into the gut. You can put it across the forehead, you can put it under your tongue, but it does help the GLP-1 that you naturally make if it gets into the gut.
What's GLP?
GLP-1 is a natural peptide that our bodies make that
Oh,
helps to it's actually made in the brain and it's made in the gut. And that's what they're mimicking. They're in the Ozempic in and the tirzepatide and the semaglutide, those are mimicking your GLP-1 natural peptide that's in your body that helps to it helps with blood sugar regulation. It's regenerative. They're finding that it has a lot to do with soothing the mood. It helps aid in digestion. It slows down blood sugar spikes. It is great for inflammation. It has a whole bunch of wonderful benefits, and it's we call it anti-diabesity, where it's helps with obesity and diabetes as well, because it does regulate the blood sugar so well.
oh, you just made me think of a joke. So I don't watch Family Guy, but it was on in the background, and there's the little boy, and the mom goes, "Oh, papi, no diabito." Made me laugh so hard.
Well, I was just wondering about this because I have a daughter going in as a sophomore, and of course, most women know that when you go to college in your first year, you gain weight, and she was really, really depressed about that, and she would like to have less weight on her now going back, but it's not all gone. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I can make her this. She's If she can take it as a pill, she'll take it. If I give her a bottle of essential oils, she won't use it.
In that case, I mean, we'd still be getting benefits if she's putting it in like a shot glass to drink or like under her tongue, like some people do. What do you think, Dina?
Well, she
I,
has gut issues.
yeah, I was gonna say, and I've noticed too, like if you put the Melissa with lavender, it not only helps with the GLP-1, it also improves mood. It helps with test anxiety. It reduces stress. It helps with her sleep. Like overall, she's going to be so much more calm because the lavender is going to help balance out the serotonin and the GABA neurotransmitters, as well as the Melissa does work on the GABA really, really nice.
Hmm. Oops, somebody froze. Is it me?
I think Dina froze her. She's in the
Oh,
Midwest. Sometimes her internet is shoddy.
I just thought you meant in the Midwest people freeze.
Did I freeze?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I freeze in the good part, right? Which part
Well,
did you hear?
we heard that you it helps with mood and test anxiety, and then
So it helps with sleep.
mm,
It helps with overall sense of calm. So someone who does have issues with an overexcitable brain, it's going to calm that down because it works on the GABA and the serotonin. And the Melissa works mostly on the GABA. So you're going to have a very calm person that has reduced stress overall, which is great for college.
I would like her to try it. We'll see, and then we could give you the result.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And I
so
would put it in capsule, one drop of each in the capsule twice a day. And
twice a
you can
day.
twice a day, yeah. And you can make the capsules up in advance if you use the gelatin. If you're using the vegan ones, you got to like make them and take them.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I think I have the vegan ones. Um, hmm.
They'll
Is it
melt.
just because that's what my husband said. You made me these great pills. They worked, except for then they were in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
Reach
make them
out,
up
reach
in
out.
advance inside the gelatin cap, that one you can make them up 6 months in advance. So like you could make her 6 months worth and send them with her and she'd be good.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So if you say you get up and take like a GABA lozenge that dissolves in your under your tongue, if you're say can't sleep at night because you have overactive brain going whatever, so you get up and you take it, or you're really stressed going to your dentist appointment or something like that that really upsets you, can you do the same thing with the Melissa? Just take the one drop of the Melissa underneath your tongue and it would work very similar to like
Yeah,
taking GABA?
it would. Hmm. Yeah, it
Okay.
it does for neurological issues, it does work best getting down into the gut, but
Okay.
you can also use it across the forehead right here. And
Okay.
you can also hold it to the roof of your mouth and it'll get neurologically in just
Okay.
for the GLP-1 and some of the other neurotransmitter benefits. I personally I feel like it works better when it gets into the gut.
Okay.
Like it has a longer lasting effect and it has a more broad spectrum effect. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad
So
that
if you
you
were
explained that.
so if you were doing it, like I said, for the middle of the night or really stressed about going to do something, would you add the lavender with it, or is it okay just on its own, the
It
Melissa?
Melissa is like a symphony all on its own.
Okay.
However, you're gonna make it last longer and have added benefits when you add the lavender.
Okay.
It's like going to see a whole bunch of strings at the orchestra, and then your favorite singer shows and sings with it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're like, oh my gosh, like
Thank you.
it was already good, but now it's like even better.
And it
Thanks.
doesn't have like for someone who might my daughters can be generally pretty calm, but then when they're stressed about an exam or I mean the schooling is really quite hard, and so they live at like a little more amped level that she doesn't like. She has all kinds of gut issues from it. Will they not? They won't feel, for lack of a better word, flattened.
No, like yeah,
Okay.
like get I call it like aloof or very apathetic where they're like dull. Mm-mm,
Yes. Okay.
mm-mm.
And doesn't make them tired. Like it
No,
doesn't make you sleepy.
no, no,
Okay.
mm-mm. No, this is the wonderful thing about oils. They don't over exaggerate their effects, which is so nice. They're very adaptogenic. So um like with I thought this, so I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 23 years, and so I thought this was so baffling when I learned about essential oils from Kim, and it was like you can use digestion for diarrhea and constipation, and like as a nurse I was like that doesn't make any sense. Like how can it calm both? And then she explained like it's very adaptogenic. It's whatever your body needs. So it's not going to over exaggerate any symptoms. It's just going to bring you to a balanced state. It's not going to, I have seen lavender make people very sleepy, but it's mostly people who are like, don't sleep well, and they need the sleep. So
Uh-huh.
I taught tons of essential oil classes and I was like, please don't ever pass out the lavender. Everybody falls asleep on the couch, like everybody. They sit in the couch and then all of a sudden everybody's dozing off. And I'm like, that's how relaxing it is. But they need the relaxation. Um, Internally, it works a little bit different. Lavender in the gut during the morning, I've noticed helps with like ADD and a whole bunch of other focus functions. Whereas if you take it at night, it helps to relax and calm. And you've probably noticed this too, right, Kim?
Well, honestly, I'm not sleeping super well because the baby, he's teething right now. So I'm afraid to use lavender in the morning because I'm
Well,
like,
Oh, because
this
you're
does
tired.
make sense. This
Mhm.
makes sense on one level. Like, So when I went down to LA to go, because I live in the San Francisco area, to go see my daughter in school, when she first arrived, and she was always taking me to these coffee shops. And she said they have lavender matcha lattes.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, why would I want to have a lavender? Like, would I just fall asleep? It didn't, it just kind of, it's kind of like a matcha can make you awake, but it's like you're not wired unless you are sensitive to it in that way. But it's a green tea. Yeah. Anyway, she froze again. Oh no, she didn't. She was looking at her computer.
Well, I would think that that would be like a good balance of uppers and downers, little
Yeah,
cat.
and they're very good. But and it's like I never think of taking lavender tea in the morning. I think of taking it at night to calm, but I never thought about mixing it with anything.
Oh, it's
Um,
great. Like I don't know, Kim was talking about how focus is can be an issue sometimes, and like it is for me too. And so I noticed that if I do a Serenity soft gel, well, most people take those at night to go to bed, but if I do one in the morning, I am hyper focused. Like all of my neurotransmitters are firing like they should. I am like zoned in. I get so much work done. It's like, Adderall for me,
Well, this
for
is
the
actually this is actually interesting because I would not do that, but I have been suffering. I self-diagnosed in the last few days. I'm like, oh my God, I have ADD or ADHD, and they're saying that a lot, especially women, got it during the pandemic when everything kind of slowed down, but it was I mean, out externally slowed down, but at home everything was going on, and everybody got um, like it was almost too distractible. Your home life and everything was all mixed together, and if you weren't used to that, if you're used to going out and doing some things and going out and taking people places, when suddenly everything was at home, our brains fritzed because we didn't have a rhythm like that. And so I was like, I'm having trouble focusing.
Hmm.
And so I would be very open to being an experiment for some of the things you suggest if you want, like I'd be curious what it would do to my brain.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and the wonderful thing, like I always like to try everything myself first before I give
Right.
it to any of my clients or anything like that. So then I know by experience like what it feels like, how it worked for me, all that fun stuff. But like if you are someone who has a lot of struggles, my daughter was when she was probably like 12 or 13 had a lot of anxious feelings and would get a lot of like get worked up over certain things. And even back then, I made her capsules of Melissa with lavender, and she only took them for maybe a month and has not had the issue ever since then. Which is, I mean, I think is so, so beneficial to have these tools at our fingertips. And the wonderful thing, like, of course, we do self-diagnose, right? That's just a thing.
Yeah.
and and then especially like I'm a nurse, I'm like we're always like self-diagnosing, right? Every nurse does it, right? And so the nice thing is I really can't harm myself by throwing on a few extra oils. It's not going to hurt me in any way because the oils first do no harm. So the nice thing is if you are struggling with something, why not try something natural first, and then if you need to escalate, you can escalate however you desire.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You guys
Um,
have your Melissa nearby. I'm like just huffing it as Dena's talking. I'm like, this is helping. This is helping.
That's
I know. The other one that I like to put
fine
with it
then.
is rose. So rose
Mhm.
and Melissa together are like
Let's see.
so vibrationally healing to me. And
Ooh,
And you do that internally or just on
I think she froze, but I think she meant topically.
topically?
Damn, I
So
have never smelled these together. That wouldn't have occurred to me, and these smell really good together.
did you do rose and Melissa? I think I froze. Sorry.
yeah.
Um, it froze in a pretty picture of you, at least. It wasn't like,
But you did it the Rose and Melissa you did topically?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So that I do over the forehead and on the chest.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Have you guys seen Dr. Danielle Daniels' book, The Essential, was it Brain Essentials?
Yeah.
I really like her book. It has a lot of explanation on how the oils are working with PTSD and how it affects the different your brain chemistry. So if you want to like geek out, she has an app too. It's Brain Essentials. Um, I like the book because I like to have
Was
things.
that the name of the book too?
Yeah, Brain Essentials.
And did you say it was Dr. Danielle Daniels?
Yes, and she's not married. Her
And
parents,
that's, is it LLE Daniels with ELS? It's so amazing.
I think it's one L. It's just Daniel. Danielle Daniel. Yeah, I don't know why her parents were cruel like that.
I know my
They
husband knew
weren't sure.
a Bob Roberts, Robert
Oh,
Roberts, and I
yeah.
was like, who does that? It's like,
Bob's.
So the
yeah.
Melissa and the Rose were helping you with what?
The Rose and
Thank you,
Melissa
Diane.
help with like massive anxiety. It
Okay.
really calms, it helps with focus. It's got a high vibrational energy to it. So no matter what emotion you're going through, I feel like it just soothes and like brings it down a few notches.
So, in addition to using the Essential Brain app that helps me understand like chemically what the oils are doing to my brain, but what I like is using the Essential Emotions book I have right here. And it also has an app too, if you guys don't have this one, Essential Emotions. So anytime, if I'm not sure what I'm feeling, there's an index in here of emotions. Let's see what page it's on. Starts on page 214, and I can just kind of go through it like alphabetically, and I go, yeah, because most people only can really name off like 5 to 10 emotions off the top of their head, you know? But there's such a wide variety of adjectives for each feeling, you know? Like there's soft anger and medium anger, hard anger. Hard anger is like, I'm gonna murder you or throw shit at your head. Soft anger is like, I'm peeved, I feel a little like, ticked off at you. Like, why'd you do that? And just learning to have a longer emotional vocabulary helps you to communicate your needs better with others, before it gets to like, I'm gonna throw something at your head or key your car, you know? I really enjoy that because I think in the past, I just felt overwhelmed all the time and I couldn't really tell you how I was feeling either way. And then I would dissociate from my body and and then I couldn't feel anything. Um, and I would make poor decisions and not treat people well. So it's very important to me in my addiction recovery and then in sharing my healing journey with others of how can you learn how to talk about your feelings and how can you bring it back into your body? Because when I chat with people about this, the reason I wanted to bring this subject up is when we talk about cortisol, I mean it's mostly stress, right? Like
Or
what's
trauma. Cortisol is also stored traumas that we don't even know we have, because the trauma that a 2-year-old has, a traumatic event, is not something necessarily that a 4-year-old would think is a trauma. So we have all this weird stuff stored in our autopilot on our sympathetic nervous system.
yeah, and the lens of our perspective in this moment, so if I can put to words and figure out where I'm feeling that in my body and use my essential oils and my tools to say, I'm aware of what's happening. What can I do now and how can I communicate that, you know? Um, so what I want to ask you guys is when we're talking about cortisol, there's main things of what makes it go up. So it's usually dietary. So it's like coffee, sugar, alcohol, um, simple carbohydrates. Do you guys think like any of those are affecting you, or does it feel like I'm not sleeping well, or I'm stressed because of my relationships and money?
Well, just an embarrassing example is yesterday I had a complete falling apart. And the first thing I looked at was my diet. And I'm like, I haven't really been eating. I've been pushing through. I have a husband going away for 3.5 weeks overseas and a daughter going back to college. And there's no one else here with me after that. And I just kind of I looked at what I ate and I'm like, oh my God, this is like when I was younger. Like if you eat like that, you're going to have some kind of, I felt like hormonal or something. And, I'm post menopause. I don't even have anything during all of that, but it was had to be the food.
Yeah, if I don't eat, I'm very ungrounded. I need like I have like 5 hot liquids that I drink in the morning. And, I have to like make sure I have my protein. And if I don't do those things, I'll be very squirrely and my stress resilience like tanks. My
Right.
ability to manage life goes marked down, you know. Um, can anyone, I think Diane, you've struggled with sleep, haven't you? Oh, never mind. She says there's additional Itovi Dr. Daniel has added for the scan. Okay, that's interesting. No, it's not you. I was thinking of someone else that about the sleep. When we don't sleep well, that makes a huge difference on our metabolism and our stress levels. So I always make sure that people, other than people like me, who my ability to sleep is dependent on whether or not my child is sleeping, and he's teething his 2 front teeth right now. Um, but making sure that you're taking your Serenity soft gels. Let's see right here. I take These are the two I take at night, the Serenity and Copaiba. So I take 2 of each. And that is supporting my nervous system in calming down. So I'm already working on getting my cortisol levels down in that way. I'm supporting my body and getting the best sleep it can in the circumstances. With my Serenity, it has the GABA in it. It has not the GABA, it has the lavender in it. And if you didn't know, and it has lemon balm, so it's got um, the Melissa in there as well. If you didn't know, 4 drops of lavender is equivalent to a Xanax, 80 milligrams of Xanax. So when we're taking our lavender, we're getting all the great benefits without the side effects. And that's in our Serenity, the restful blend. So when I have chatted with people that are trying to get off of certain medications and the side effects that it causes them and the stress that it causes them, Copaiba is like gold. You can take it every hour and it's so supportive. So if you have individuals in your life that are like, I'm getting off this medication and it's just terrible, Copaiba is amazing for that.
So if you have someone so our family doesn't take drugs. I mean, we might take a Tylenol once if we need it, but we don't take drugs. So I think there's a sensitivity to things. Would you still prescribe just as much for people who don't maybe
I'm
are
talking about
sensitive?
coming off of, drugs.
Oh, coming off of them. You're saying, okay, sorry.
I speak to many people that their doctors have bullied them into being on medications. And then within a few weeks, they are like, why did I let them tell me to take that? And then they want to get off of it. But now they're in this process of withdrawal, or
Oh,
like
I
whatever
see.
they need to go through in their mind.
I see. Okay.
You'd be
Can
surprised
we
how often that happens.
can you talk a little bit about Tulsi, because like maybe read it from the book. For some reason I can't find my book. I had it on my desk and I don't know where it went, but Tulsi is one of the most powerful ways to lower cortisol in the body. So if you are somebody who has adrenal fatigue, like massive adrenal fatigue, and you are tired and wired, one of the most potent, amazing oils that you can use is Tulsi. And it works like a ubiquinol on the adrenal itself. And if you pair it with Melissa, it's even more wonderful.
In a capsule?
Yeah.
Have you been doing it?
So I've been using it for a really long time. Like the minute Tulsi came out, I was so excited because I knew exactly what it would do. Before I had Tulsi, I used to use basil, and basil like works wonders on my body. Like I could go through surgery and not take a pain pill because of basil. Like basil just kills all my pain. It's amazing. But your Tulsi works right on the adrenal itself, which is really cool. And so for someone who has been struggling with the wired and tired and wired and really burning the candle at both ends and the mitochondria are fatigued, that's a very high signal that there's a lot of inflammation happening and there's that three-legged stool is off balance. So when you look at Tulsi, like pull some of the emotions that it addresses in there, and you can tell
Yeah, I'll
how
read it for you.
how amazing it is. Yeah.
Tulsi or holy basil is a sacred and highly valued herb in India. It's considered indispensable as nothing compares with its majestic qualities. It has a host of beneficial uses, including being a powerful adaptogen for many body systems, acting to balance and restore areas that have become weakened or blocked. It enhances prana or life force energy and restores energetic flow for healing body, mind, and spirit. Tulsi aids in harmonizing the conscious and unconscious mind. This unified energy meets in the center or heart of one's being. This exceptionally high vibration oil shifts negative mental and emotional states almost instantly. It is excellent for individuals feeling overcome by stress and emotional dysregulation. It penetrates the deepest emotional wound and offers an invitation to heal what remains unresolved or previously unreachable. This oil is a powerful ally for healing the heart and choosing into one's emotional work. And the emotions are misaligned, weakened, energetically blocked, strained, and stressed. And it brings integration, aliveness, energetically clear, harmonization, balanced, and healed.
Like, is anybody else like enamored by that as I am?
Yeah.
Like,
What
I'm
did you
like,
say
oh,
what did
Tulsi.
you mix it with, Dina?
The
You say you,
Melissa.
oh, one
I
drop
put
of
it,
each?
yeah, like in, so where you guys would use lavender in the capsule, I use Tulsi. So I pair my Melissa with Tulsi.
I'm going to grab the baby really quick and I'll be right back.
And can I, well, since she's gone, we can ask maybe what the difference between Tulsi versus lavender would be. Like, why would you, you did it because you did it, but what will be the difference?
I'm sorry, I froze and I missed the question.
Oh, so you pair Melissa with Tulsi and she did
Yeah.
it with lavender. What would be the difference? I was just asking if you know that off the top of your head.
Um, I I mean, both are going to give you very significant and very similar effects. And they're both
Mhm.
really calming to the stress level. I mean, like when you go back and we look at like when we started to learn about all the oils, like lavender is such a staple. I feel like you can't go wrong with lavender. Your Tulsi's just like a little bit more specific for adrenals.
I
Both
see.
are going to
Okay,
help, but your your Tulsi is a little bit more specialized, if that makes sense.
got it.
Really, really honing in on a different kind of stress,
Hmm.
a way more like emotional, physical, chemical, like really alleviating the adrenals. How often are you taking Tulsi and Melissa per day? Twice a day. And if you're someone who Tina, are you someone who maybe struggles with feeling tired and wired?
Yes, all the time. I'm anemic also, and I
Mhm.
had a hysterectomy because I thought that would help with my energy levels, and it did a little bit, but I still have where I'll get really wired for days and I'm like, okay, I gotta get as much as you can get done, and then I crash.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So for you, I'd probably do 3 times a day until you get your adrenals under control. It's probably going to take you about 6 weeks.
Okay. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's
And
awesome.
then,
I actually was just getting ready to take Melissa because of all the stuff that I read on the page.
yeah, yeah. And then once you kind of get it under control, you can probably just do once a day.
Okay.
And you'll know, when do you normally crash in the morning, like in like noon or 3, or is it in the evening where you're
It
like, oh my
it can
gosh, I'm
be
wired?
different all the time. It's just a matter of like how much energy I use. Like, I mean, I always joke that like my family probably thinks I'm on drugs because like I'll go and stay up until 3 in the morning because I'm like, okay, I've got the energy, let's use it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And are you an introvert?
Sometimes it depends on the situation.
Yeah. And then if you are having trouble sleeping at night, like is there a certain time of the night that you wake up like consistently? Like do you wake up every night at 4 a.m. or anything like that?
I would say about 2 to 3 I get up, and then again between 4 and 5, and then of
Mhm.
course then the alarm goes off and then I don't want to get up.
2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now I'm
So if
also
you,
getting ready to do that 90-day protocol for that Dr. Watts was talking about. Do you think that will affect me by doing that? Or because I mean it's supposed to help with my gut, so I would think that would help.
Anything that helps with the gut is going to probably be beneficial. Hmm. Yeah. And that, so for you, because of the tired and wired and the crashing and the up and down, like, I mean, just knowing what I know, I would say there's probably some inflammation present, and I would really heavily focus on the liver and the mitochondria.
Okay. Which would
Yeah.
make sense because yes, I've been told that there's fatty liver, and that's why I'm trying to clean out the gut,
Yeah.
get a healthy lifestyle going.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
And
I love
then,
your page, by the way, Kimberly.
oh, thank you. Thank
I
you.
love your
Your best thing is probably going to be lots of protein. 30 grams of protein in the morning within 30 minutes of waking up will stop a lot of those crashes.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So right in the morning, and um, you're meaning like it sustains you for the day, so the crashes don't happen.
Yeah, when you are there's like a lot of intermittent fasting that's going on, and which is beneficial for some people, but for some people it has the opposite effect, and
Mhm.
it causes more problems and low blood sugar and crashing and brain crashing, and then you want to eat more because um your blood sugar is not sustained. And so um like I study it all, I do it all, I try it. I read a lot of books and stuff. And so I've noticed that most people do better with eating the protein first thing in the morning within 30 minutes. And it's got to be high quality protein, like as most grass fed as you can, if it's good eggs or
You froze. I don't know. She'll find out she froze in a minute.
Yeah, she froze. I use doTERRA's protein shake first thing in the morning because that's the fastest thing for me.
did I freeze again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
froze. I
Where
was
did
just
I freeze?
saying the I use the doTERRA's protein powder.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what
good.
I was saying is I use the vegan because the whey tends to make women bulk after 40, and it tends to bulk them in the gut. And that is not the place that we want to bulk. Like if
So
you're gonna give
the
me
vegan doesn't
some
have whey.
arms, the vegan one does not have whey.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
that's good to know because I've actually in my smoothies I've been doing like the pea protein instead of the whey.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like pea and rice.
So
That's
Dina,
perfect. So,
what would you say for people who, like my family, all three of us, were never really hungry in the morning. We just wait to eat till we're hungry, which
mhm.
might be 10 o'clock. But like, for example, my daughter will say, I have class at 9:50 and I need to eat something before I go out. I'm not hungry,
Mhm.
You can drink the protein. I just do it with water.
with
Mhm.
just water. Does
Yeah,
it taste good though with just
yeah.
water?
That's how I drink mine too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Um, I think after she does it for about a week or so, she'll train her body to be hungry first thing in the morning. It's probably that she's just trained to not be hungry. Um, and then also to check and see, like have her mentally take note, like, is she having less crashes? Is her brain function a lot more stable? Is her mood balancing out as she's adding in the protein? Because it should help all those things. It's only gonna like the desired effect that you want from the Melissa, the protein's only gonna help it.
Does
Okay.
the Melissa, the Tulsi, the Copaiba, do they all help with the sugar cravings that you get that come along, like with emotional eating and stuff like that?
The protein shake, that's what's really helped me with the sugar and the meta power. So we want to balance our blood sugar. When we get that up, like too far up or too far down, that's when we start like, bringing in like the four dark horsemen, like hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
Is that
So
what that is? Hungry, angry, lonely, tired?
Yeah, in
I'm
well, AA, it's halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And I have
I
to check
think
in.
I think I looked at the protein powder that we have with doTERRA, and I'm pretty sure it has pea protein in it, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, it's like pea and rice.
So can you use a good like unflavored like isopure or something like that? Because I'm allergic to peas, so I can't do the pea protein that shows up in anything.
Yeah,
How are you allergic to peas? That's interesting. I've never met anybody allergic to peas. What
You want my
happened?
whole do you want my whole list? Like I can eat
Oh,
no nuts at all. I can't eat any legumes. I can't eat eggs. I can't eat peas.
What?
Nothing.
yeah, I would go with the protein shake that works for your body because you're also, in the protein shakes. Is it all, well, she's frozen again, but her and I had just been chatting about, protein shakes have amino acids in them. That's what the protein is. It's what
Mhm.
three main ones that your gut needs to build its own dopamine in your brain. So when you give it the protein shake and it has those three amino acids in it, you're not only satisfying your body in that blood sugar way, but you're also helping to like give yourself that kind of like, little shot of happy,
Okay.
you know? I was telling him about that TED talk about the dopamine and the amino acids.
ooh, can you share that? TED Talk?
Uh, she's what is it, a TED talk, Dina? Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll post it on the Facebook group. But I want to really get into the topic of our gut, the gut health stuff. Just like Dr. Danielle Daniel talks about the gut and the brain axis, she coined psychobiome. So there's
Yeah.
more and more research coming in about all the different receptors of our brain that start in our gut. In the past, they would only really talk about um, serotonin, but now they're talking about dopamine. And, she reads about this all day long. We really have to get both in check. So we hear about people talking about leaky gut all the time. And when that happens, it's the lining of our intestine, the little crimps, they get kind of weak. And then things that we eat start to slip from our intestine into our bloodstream. And then our body sends, the white cells saying like, well, who the hell are you, nuts and peas? And then they're like, well, screw you, nuts and peas. We are going to fight you. And so then your body becomes allergic to it.
Mhm.
So we need to rebuild the lining of the gut with the collagen. So using doTERRA's collagen, it's like putting the liquid back in the tire. Like when you get a flat tire and you got to put the blue stuff. We got to like clean it back up so that it's all nice and sealed. So that's what the doTERRA collagen is doing. Then we need to put good, like not just probiotics, the prebiotics and the phages and the postbiotics and all the good stuff in there. So that's why doTERRA's new scientific pro gut biome is it. I have it right here. I had to bring all my supplements
Restore.
for you guys to see. So probiotics isn't good enough anymore. We have to have all the things. So the reason that it has the 2 capsules when you open it up, hold on, let me put this little critter down. My husband was holding him in the other room, but I could still hear him like, kind of not crying, but like, so you know how it is. I'm like, I have to have him, otherwise I'm gonna freak out. So the 2 capsules, you can see it's like a clear one, and then there's a little one inside. When it hits this, so first it has to get through your stomach acid so that it's not gonna burn up in there. And then it gets to the small intestine. So in the small intestine, now the capsule opens and it's got the prebiotic and the phages. So the little phages are like these, like it's kind of weird. They're like look like a little spider things, like the Matrix. Those giant like things that take over the world, except they're like little. So they go and they clean up all the gunk. And then the next capsule opens, and that's where all the probiotics are. So it's like if there's all the gunk in your intestinal lining, then it's not going to absorb, it's not going to be bioavailable. So the gunk has to get cleaned up before the next capsule can be opened. So I just think it's so amazing,
Yeah.
the way that this is engineered. Um, so that's going to be working on our body in that way. But we need fiber and we need greens too. And we need our magnesium. So I do all this stuff in the morning. So I mix my protein shake, my greens, and fiber all freaking together in one bottle mixer. Because I'm like, I got to get it done. So I just get that done. I just drink a big bottle of the collagen and the electrolytes together. If I have more time, I'll just do one at a time just because I like having treats. Like, oh, now I get to have this treat and now I get to have this treat. But if I don't have time, then I'll just like, combine the things to just get it out of the way.
So
Um,
I do the power punch with the PB assist. Would I
huh?
have to leave the assist out if I was taking the capsule, or is it still
Oh,
okay?
no, you can take both.
Okay.
They say that if you have like a chronic gut thing to take both
Okay.
because you're getting different strands from both products.
So what's our thought on taking like our On Guard that has like the antiviral, antimicrobial oils and stuff in it? So if we're like taking something like that, like how is that affecting our gut? Because is it killing
It's
off our
not,
good
it's not
bacteria
killing off
too?
the good stuff. No.
Okay.
No, because like during the winter, I take On Guard every day.
Me too.
I'm like, I'm not getting your crud.
Mm-mm.
We learned that the hard way. No,
So the only one you would really have to worry about then would be like the oregano or the um tea tree. Will that be if we're
I don't
taking
worry
that
about
like
that.
when we put it like in like when we have really bad cold or flu or something, like is that like setting us back with as far as working on our gut health?
No,
No.
no, because it's not like an antibiotic where it's like really messing you up, because that eats
Okay.
at your intestinal lining too,
Okay.
so it's like popping holes in your tire when we've been trying to fill it back up with blue stuff, you know, it doesn't do that to it. But I was gonna show people if they haven't used doTERRA's electrolytes, you really have to shake them because at the bottom there's all these deep sea minerals that you want to make sure get mixed in there because they're so good for your cells. So I didn't know that. And I also didn't know it was liquid. So then I like spilled it everywhere because I was used to like using powder electrolytes. So I like the strawberry one, but I do like the lemon lime one too. Which one do you guys like better?
Strawberry.
Yeah, they're good. So I did mention in the Facebook Live that in order for your body to balance cortisol, it needs certain vitamins and minerals, and there's things that it gets blocked by. So if you guys didn't hear that, you need vitamin C, D, B12, magnesium, and omegas. Those are the ingredients your body needs to enable to lower cortisol levels. And there's things that get blocked. You want to share anything about that, Dena?
Sorry, I have such a bad lag right now. My internet is just working so wonderfully. So the cortisol and you were talking about the cortisol and the nutrients that are needed.
Well, I have the notes written here, just that the baby was screaming. So with vitamin C, a lot of people don't realize is that aluminum blocks their vitamin C absorption. So it's like working on getting all those citrus oils into your body on a regular basis so that we can detoxify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you're saying aluminum, are you meaning aluminum, the mineral that you might get trace? Or are you talking about using aluminum pots or having, what are you talking
all
about?
of that. All of that. Anytime you get in contact with aluminum, which is also in deodorant, it's in your baking products, it's in the foil, our food comes packaged in it, you're getting traces of that aluminum inside of your gut lining, but then also in the brain. So they've done studies where you put your deodorant on and within minutes they can test that it goes to the brain. So you're getting a lot of like residual trace of those, floating around in the body. Your body has a hard time detoxing. And so then you're going to have a harder time getting your nutrients as well, your vitamin C, because of that.
And I was looking at people use fluoride toothpaste. Sorry. The fluoride is attracting more aluminum to your brain.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I thought that was, interesting and good for people to realize. And also that our vitamin D doesn't necessarily get absorbed because they're not processing their fat. Here, I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fat's interesting, and you do need a lot of enzymes in order to break down fat. And so, I mean, I know keto is a very popular type of dietary variation. And there's a lot of benefits to keto, but I also believe that we can exercise, like a different types of variations. So like if you are going to do keto, come off of it, every so often so that you give your body a break and you can break down some of the fats, having to have your body process fats continuously can be a little bit cumbersome and can be a little bit problematic. So giving your body also a rest and a break, taking on a few more carbohydrates, and then letting your body process that, and you get also different nutrients as well. So changing it up is very key as well and beneficial.
Overall, I feel like if somebody just was looking for a place to start, I would tell them do Melissa, maybe lavender or tulsi, get on the electrolytes, and then have a 15-minute practice that you do every day. Like we love breath work, we love yamana body rolling. Nikki and I and Dena, we're all like addicted to yamana body rolling, So if you can have a practice that you do just for yourself, stretch before you go to sleep. Like that's what your body needs to get like ready to like relax. If you hold that tension, before you lay down, it's like do what is obvious. Like you need to drink water, right? And don't drink too much coffee. Stretch before you go to sleep, take a warm bath, like create little rituals for yourself within oils too. Like for me, one of my main rituals is I made myself a little castor oil blend. It's castor oil and yarrow and frankincense and copaiba and rose. And I rub it all over my face. So I'm getting all these amazing benefits for my brain and for my emotions, but I'm making myself look so beautiful. Like it's hitting all the marks just for me, you know? So that's how I fit in this amount of self-care with a screaming baby. So I will definitely post the main notes for you guys. And I'm gonna put I'm actually gonna make a nice little easy cheat sheet so that you can just start from there because I know you'll want to end up sharing this with people because it's just like everyone that has said, okay, I'm gonna start when me and Dena started, they're all like have these amazing results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's only been 7 weeks, Kim.
Oh, okay. So it's even shorter amount of time than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, we started July or June 29th.
Okay.
So it's almost like Sunday will be 7 weeks.
That's crazy.
Which is awesome. Yeah.
So it's
Like,
definitely working. It's not just like, oh, I'm losing weight because of the baby. Like it's because I wasn't coming off that fast before.
mm-mm.
And you said it was the protein shakes that I think I've been following you, Kim. You said it was the protein shakes that made you more than anything stop craving sugars.
Yeah. And I didn't realize at the time that it was like supporting my brain, you know, as a former addict, you know, it was giving me back my dopamine. Because that's essentially why so many addicts go back to the drugs, even after they've gone through such terrible withdrawals and everything. And like now they're months past, but it's just they're so depressed and dopamine depleted that they go back to their drug of choice.
Yeah, because my family's not very sugar oriented, but my daughter like eats what is what would be considered a lot of chocolate every day. And I like in the evening, she needs it for her mood. And I was thinking, first of all, what she likes to eat is very pure. It only has four ingredients. It's very expensive unless you make it yourself, but if protein shakes would like maybe curb some of the reason why.
I think she's really craving the magnesium, but was most chocolate cravings stem from magnesium deficiency, but that would be the electrolyte. There's how many different types in there, Kim? Four
In the
different types
electrolytes?
in the electrolytes. There's several different types of magnesium.
There's six
Yeah.
different types.
6 types, yeah.
Okay. Well, she does.
Mhm.
I mean, we've always taken electrolytes for years now, and she takes magnesium every day, and takes magnesium, which has three. But yeah, if that's a reason why, I can suggest that
Yeah,
to her.
and it's liquid, so it's getting in really quick and easy.
I see. Yeah.
Like I used to eat chocolate every day too and crave chocolate. I was like, I just need some chocolate. And then
Yeah.
like since I've been on the electrolytes, I have no desire to even eat chocolate, which is so odd. Like I've had chocolate sitting on the counter for months and I'm like, this doesn't even sound good, which I mean 2 years ago that would have never happened.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Devoured it. Yeah.
We also have the chocolate protein,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which yeah, which I put it in the freezer sometimes and I eat it like ice cream.
Oh, yum.
There you
How do
go.
you make it? What is it just with water, or do you make it with put something else
I
in it and freeze
make
it?
it with either almond milk or oat milk.
Oh,
Oh,
well, that sounds good.
Mhm.
Hmm.
we need some of your recipes. That
Thank
sounds
you, Maria.
delicious.
So do you drink the protein shake as soon as you're done eating? Like instead of like when you would have a dessert, you drink the protein shake then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Yeah, and that's really helped me a lot because I had an eating disorder for 7 years when I was a teenager. And so ever since then, I don't, I don't eat. 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 I don't e I don't let myself, like I would, if I want a dessert, I'll have a dessert, because that was actually part of my healing process of like not denying myself because I over restricted so much. So the fact that I would even let myself have a dessert was part of my healing. But of course, going into, 20 something years later, it's not, you don't need that anymore, Kim. Like, so having that is like my dessert.
What's helped me with the cravings is the MetaPower and
Mhm.
also the MetaPower gum.
Mm.
And what cravings were you having for that had you
Sugar.
just sugar?
Is Maria
Are you
so
able to, when you write the notes on this, are you able to tell us what the 3 amino acids are that we need to help with the dopamine?
Yeah, I'll post that video and I think he says it in there.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we did go over time, and I really appreciate you guys having the patience and kindness to be here. And Dena, thank you so much for just coming and teaching with me. And I'll post this recording as well. So thanks for everybody for contributing and bringing your real self so we can talk about stuff.
Appreciate
Thank
Dena.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ladies.
Lady.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.